Hi, my name's Joff Bush, and I'm the lead composer of Bluey, and I also play Buster in Bluey as well.
Shake it!
I'm going to deconstruct some of the thought process and how we went about composing for the episode The Sign, which is the final episode of Season 3.
In The Sign, Bluey's family are planning on moving to another town, leaving their friends and family behind.
This job pays a lot more money, which means we can give you kids a better life.
I don't want a better life.
After 3 seasons and 154 episodes, Joe Brumm, the creator of Bluey, said that The Sign will be his last episode. Quote, "In the event I can't wrap my head around doing more seasons myself, The Sign will mark my TV finale for Bluey, and I wrote it as such." Now, it's unclear whether the show might continue without him, but Bluey has really been Joe's baby from the beginning, so this episode might be the end.
We knew this was going to be such a beautiful, important episode, so we really we spent a lot of time playing around and perfecting it. We had a little bit of a moment before we start. It's like, all right, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make something, work on a show that's this special and an episode that's this amazing. Let's make something that we can be really proud of. It's the first time in any of the series where we actually use the Bluey theme as underscore.
Release!
Will Frisky and Rag get married right on this spot?
Yep.
The Bluey theme sort of represents the world of Bluey as it is, and the "we'll see" represents what is upsetting the regularity of the day in the life, the world there.
We'll See is the main musical theme of the Sign episode. The idea comes from a story that Bluey's teacher reads to their class.
It's called The Farmer. See what you think of its ending.
In the story, a series of good and bad things keep happening to the farmer, but every time his neighbors say,
"That's such bad luck,"
or
"That's such good luck,"
the farmer just says,
"We'll see."
The point is, you never know how things will turn out. What might look like bad luck now could end up being good luck later, and vice versa.
We'll see.
And I think that's quite a hard thing for young children to compute.
Is that a happy ending or a sad ending?
It's both.
Coming to terms with sometimes not everything works out the way it should, and sometimes everything falls together, and whatever will be is meant to be.
This idea of "we'll see" has multiple meanings. Will Bluey's family move to a new city? We'll see. Is the Bluey series over? We'll see. Will everything work out okay for us, the viewers? We'll see.
The script might have been originally called "We'll See" even, but that was such a theme of the episode, so I wanted to write a "We'll See" theme. And I felt like this was like a bookend to the 3 Bluey series as a whole. So I wanted this theme to feel like a bit of a bookend. I do really rough sketches. Something comes out in that process of sitting down and actually writing things out.
You're actually physically not playing anything. You hear the chords in your head.
Yes.
And you're putting that down.
Yeah, I try to, taking my ears away from the situation and just going straight into what my orchestral imagination is, like how I imagine it would sound, and writing it there. This one, I'm trying to hit so many hit points while setting up the "We'll See" theme at the same time and building an association with this story. So when it reemerges throughout the episode, you're reminded of this story particularly. The melody is the Bluey theme in reverse. So the Bluey theme's in E. This is the first thing we did. So the first thing was to take it to its relative major, which is G, and then reverse it. And it's kind of generously twisting on, but it's based off that. I wanted it to feel familiar by having that sort of reversal of the theme. It felt like it tied in there, but it was the end of something. I recorded this right after reading the script. So it's got the theme in reverse. It's got this sort of like river flowing type, never-ending pulse of life type riff going underneath. was you. That contrasts with the Bluey theme that is also played throughout. And when you go to the G and you go, and then if you go back to the theme in E, it's always, we actually use the Bluey theme in a very almost sitcom-y way for transitions. So da 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 da.
You're gonna love this place.
And then we get into that key change, the G major, and it's the reversal of the Bluey theme.
But it could be bad for our family.
It could. I wish I could tell you which one it was going to be, but I don't know.
Hey, it's all black.
I guess we'll see.
These two themes contrast each other and bounce off each other. And it feels very like this little switch happening and going, this is an important moment sonically as a palette. And so, yeah, hopefully that comes through.
What was it like moving from these, I believe, 7-minute pieces?
Yeah.
Up to the length of this?
I remember finding it way harder than I thought it would. It would be really easy. Much as like a half-hour episode is like a sponge and it can take a lot, it can't take that much as what you get in a 7-minute episode and still feel like the show started to feel really, it felt too rich. When I'm doing a 7-minute episode, I'll step back and watch the whole episode, and then I'll go to help me hone in on the finer details. I can't really do that on a half-hour episode because you'll spend your whole day watching, I'll watch the whole thing again, see how it fits in this little moment, and then you move the tambourine and go, I'll watch the whole thing again. Like, it's never going to work. So yeah, I had to change my process a lot. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I just didn't sleep for a few weeks. In terms of process, probably the first thing I do is really start with a tempo map. Particularly on a scene like this one, which has all these really important hits I wanted to get to. This is a very messy tempo. I'm showing you like the worst part of my wardrobe. It's like, I feel like I'm showing you my messy room here. You're like, you live like this? This is probably as Mickey Mousey as I've ever gotten.
Can you tell me more what you mean by Mickey Mousey?
Oh, sorry, Mickey Mousey is just that idea of taking, of playing the action really, like in a Mickey Mouse cartoon, where you might have a little flourish for the eyebrow, or you really get into the detail of the action. It's a focus of it. I'm a big fan of just having a little, like you're driving by and tipping your hat to those little moments rather than making a big deal of them.
I love the flute for the bird and the harp for the balloon so much.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a thing that, we're talking about doing soft hits. It's just passing by. It's not really part of the piece. One of my favorite things to do, and it's do that. In this one, it's so satisfying when you do hit all those points. Hey, it's. I mean, that's a real buzz. With the recording process, I probably would have started with the guitars. I've also got me singing here. This has become such a big part of the Bluey sound. I think this, just me going ooh as high as I can. People are going to see this and see all these crossfades I haven't done. I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm like, oh, sorry.
If you were to describe your experience on Bluey from your eyes and your mind, how would you describe that?
At best, it was just a bunch of friends making something together. I think those are the best moments where we're just in this room here, coming up with ideas and throwing them around the room, jumping on the piano and just getting in that flow state and forgetting about anything, just making the show that we want to see and we want to hear. And there's been times where we've pressed send and then we go, hang on, I think we can do this better. And we come back and do it, which is insane. Nobody does that in this industry. It's like, no, it's done.
And then it coming to an end.
Yeah.
And putting a bow on that with this episode.
Yeah. And like, even at this time, there was a lot of up in the air about what the future of Bluey is and things like that. But regardless, it felt like this episode, the sign was putting a bow, as you say, on a set of episodes. It's quite strange, and it's a really nice experience coming back and listening to these. We haven't really done this before. Like I haven't dusted off this file for 2 or 3 years now, and I'm like, oh, I was worried that I didn't know what I was doing, but it's okay.
Well, it was special for me. It was amazing to get to know you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, really
over
great.
These past few days, and inviting me in and seeing all this stuff, I'm like living my own 6-year-old dream right now. But no, I'm living my 45-year-old dream too.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
No, thank you. It's really beautiful.
Okay, why don't we just call it at that?
Bye.